Coming up, we have your August 2023 Las Vegas real estate market update.
Hey everyone, I'm Steve.
And I'm Kristen.
We are the Thomas Group with Real Broker, your local Las Vegas and Henderson Realtors, here today to bring you your August 2023 real estate market update from the beautiful
Mount Charleston.
It's stunning out here, isn't it? Like we've been living in Vegas now almost 10 years and we come up here, you know, a handful of times, but every time we drive in, it transports you to a different place.
It takes your breath away. It's so pretty. I mean, it's hard to wrap your mind around that. Like the Las Vegas Strip is 45 minutes from all of this.
Right. And another benefit is the temperature. Like
Yes.
it's like all year round because of the elevation. It's about 20 degrees cooler than it is, you know, down
I'm a little bit chilly. And
in the city.
I think it's it's in the low 100s today down in Las Vegas. And I'm cold here.
In the 80s.
yeah, exactly.
But it's really, really beautiful. And Mount Charleston's been, there's a lot of things been happening recently. And in fact, Catherine on our team just made a really great video about it all. So I think that's coming out, or it'll probably be out by the time
we're filming. Yeah, it's coming out. And yeah, she's gone through like everything, all the hikes, all the camping. Something I was telling Steve about from the video that I learned from Catherine that they do in Lee Canyon, which is the skiing in the winter. There's a ton of activities you can go and do in the summer. They've got like axe throwing. You can take your mountain bike up there and they'll lift your bike up on the ski lifts. So you can just ride down the hill.
So next month when we do the market update and I'm in a cast.
He's in like a full body cast. That's why. Yeah.
Because people don't know my history of injuring myself.
Accident prone,
for
sure. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, yeah, check it out. If you have been up here, tell us what your favorite activity or hike is up on Mount Charleston. And should we get into the numbers?
Yeah, let's do it. So what's been happening in the real estate market?
All right, we will start with our single family home sales. The median sales price last month jumped up 2% to $450,000, and we're down 3.2% from the same time last year. So we're seeing that, you know, the drop in prices, we're seeing that really slowly even out, that we kind of saw this time last year. We don't always talk about the average sales price, but I'm going to mention it because the average sales price jumped up 6.5%. Oh, you're shaking your head like I was reading it wrong.
No, I was like, that's what surprised me.
Yeah, it jumped up 6.5%, up to about 570,000, and that's up almost 5% from last year. Now, average can be skewed, you know, by outliers, and the luxury market's been doing really well. Luxury sales are up from the previous month and significantly higher than the same time last year. So, you know, that's definitely putting the upward price pressure on the average sales price.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about units sold. And this is where things are going to start getting a little bit interesting. There were 2,041 units sold last month, down 11% from the previous month and down 1.2% from the same time last year. The same time last year is when we really saw the market kind of almost, it felt like screeched to a halt because the interest rates were up at 5%. And now it feels like we're having a repeat of that.
Yeah, and well, I mean, it shows you that the market is telling us that those interest rates are too high.
They are too high.
Right,
yeah.
and every month now, since we've got past the 5 or the 6 sixes, we've been the sales have been decreasing.
Right.
Every single month. But let me ask you, why is the price, gone up? Median sales price gone up when sales are down.
Yeah, good question. High demand, so our inventory is non-existent right now, right? Do you want to look at what the numbers are? Let's look. There were 3,524 single-family homes that you could purchase last month. That's down 4.2% from the previous month and down 52% from last year.
Yeah. So, but this is why is the month of inventory increased?
The months of inventory increased because that you take the inventory and divide it by the demand, and so because the sales were down, that's going to actually bump up the months of inventory.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So it's it could, depending on how you interpret the data, you could see different things, here ultimately.
Yeah.
So what do you think is going to happen next month?
I think we're probably going to see a small decrease in the median sales price next month.
Okay. Why?
Because interest rates are high. Interest rates right now are in 7 if you've got like probably perfect credit, and low 7s if for a lot of people that don't have that perfect 800 credit score. And it's hard to afford a $450,000 priced home on an average income with a 7% interest rate. Your payment's high.
Right. Oh, yeah. No, I don't argue that at all. And I think the pending sales are right. Are they down already?
Yes. So that's a really good point, and I think that's going to speak to what we see next month. Pending sales are down 8% from this month, and this month we were already down 11%. So that's really interesting.
It seems pretty accurate too. Every month when we report on the pending sales, like they're normally thereabout.
They're
maybe a
pretty
point
close.
or two that difference. It's never drastically different. So yeah, I mean, like, where does this leave the real estate market, right? If you're a buyer or a seller,
stuck. I think it's going to be similar to last year. Like, do you remember last year where we were stuck because sellers, there weren't, well, the demand side was stuck for a different reason. The sellers didn't want to lower their prices last year, but this year we just don't have inventory. Nobody's going to move, and the buyers are struggling because of interest rates. What do you think?
I think you're right. Like, because it was pretty much this exact time. Was it like round about this exact same time?
It was the same time.
And then the market really stalled from.
It was about 3 months.
Yeah,
until it started moving.
Close to like November,
October. It was picking up. By January, we were
really
moving.
busy again.
Yeah. So I think we're going to see something similar as people adjust. And
if interest rates keep going even further, who knows where that's going to be. But I think this is not a topic that we'll talk too much about right now, but the commercial side of real estate could be the next area that's going to cause price depreciation throughout the single family traditional market. That's again topic for another whole conversation, but we'll keep looking at the data as a whole each month as it is here, because what's happening here in town might be very drastically different from what's happening in different places.
Right.
And actually, just piggybacking off of that, I found some interesting data recently about people that are moving to Las Vegas and the area, and I was taking a lot of it in, and it was really interesting to see how Las Vegas has like diversified as a city and kind of as a business, right? Like, whereas we were a very, very heavy one-trick pony reliant on
all one-trick pony, yeah.
Well, there was a little bit of it was very just heavy, on the tourism, yeah. And now that's like diversifying, and you can see that in the data and stuff. But I thought what would be interesting to share with you guys is first of all the keys, the driver's license surrenders, the latest data for the people that are moving here. If you're wondering like who's moving into Las Vegas, well, let me share all this data with you. Can I get my notepad?
Go get it.
All right. So I'm going to quiz you, Kristen.
Oh, okay.
All right. So you can't get this. Sure, you're not going to get this one wrong. So where are the largest amount of people moving from?
California.
Yeah, California, 38.3%. Now, next, we've got, have a guess.
Florida.
Yeah, absolutely. Then after that, you can probably,
I would either guess New York or Chicago.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Where is it?
Texas.
Oh, Texas. Then maybe Washington. We're getting a lot of Washington. Was Washington?
Washington was right now. It was next.
It was after Texas.
Yeah,
okay.
Because we got the no income state.
Yeah.
Taxes states, and then after that we've got Arizona, Hawaii, Illinois, Utah, Colorado, and New York City.
Okay.
And what I also thought was quite interesting was in this data they provided the cost of living in all of the major cities, on the West Coast, and Las Vegas has always been, well, for a very long time, known as a very affordable place to live.
Right.
But it's becoming more and more expensive.
Yeah.
And I hear people I see people mentioning in the comments on some of our videos about the cost of living being a lot more pricey, and that it's not making sense for them to move, from where they are. So in terms of the most expensive city on the West Coast, where do you think that is right now?
San Francisco.
Yeah, 100%. San Fran, followed by LA, Seattle, San Diego, Portland, Sacramento, Denver, Salt Lake City, Phoenix, and
then Las Vegas.
Vegas.
I'm surprised that Phoenix is more expensive than Las Vegas. I find that surprising, but just because they're able to sprawl a lot more than we are. They're not really locked into the valley like we are.
Yeah.
So I'm
that is.
But they don't have as much water, maybe.
Who knows? Let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know in the
If you're from
comments.
Phoenix.
Yeah, let us know.
I just know they had that one problem with the neighborhood that lost water.
And I still think, for considering, how accessible Las Vegas is, right? We've got an incredible city. There's a couple of weeks ago, Kristen and I and friends, we went to see Adele, right? We've got like amazing, artists of all different styles and calibers and genres and whatnot here, performances, restaurants. And then when you start thinking about that in comparison to like other major cities, not just in the West Coast, but around the world.
Yeah.
Like now we're talking New York City, Miami, like Paris, like.
I think too, like it's how accessible like getting to the Strip is from anywhere. If you're living in San Francisco, I've had people say, maybe it takes an hour to get into the city. It's a pain. You have to stay overnight if you even want to go like see someone. Here, you're pretty much 30 minutes from the Strip. I mean, really, no matter where you are.
Yeah,
It's
accessibility.
phenomenal. You can actually Uber, for a night out. It's pretty unique.
It just makes me think that, all of these things that we're talking about with regards to, making the building the city out and not making sure it's not a one-trick pony, and diversification and stuff, mixed with the quality of living, the weather, the accessibility, all of these things, right? Like, this should help us, continue to be a place that people want to move to. However, right, there's one big factor in all of this is housing. All right, so with that being said, let's take a look at the condos and townhomes.
All right, let's do it. The median sales price, this is interesting, dropped 0.5% to $273,500, and we're up 0.6% from the same time last year. So I think what we're seeing is the people that are buying condos and townhomes are more affected by the higher interest rates. They might not be tapping into
equity from a sale of another property.
Exactly. So they're more affected, and we tend to see the interest rates affect those sales more. There were 610 units sold, down 5.6% from the previous month, and up 0.7% from the same time last year. Pending sales down 5.7%. So we're going to see both the condo and the whole market continue to slow down into next month, and then maybe that'll put some downward pressure on prices. I don't know, because we don't have much inventory. I think we talk about this in every video, but it's important to mention in case that you are just joining us, that there's still some properties that are getting multiple offers. People are waiving appraisal, etc. Things that are priced well and they're move-in ready and they look nice. They're hot. Things that are overpriced and need work, they're the ones that are going to be sitting on the market for longer. So important to keep in mind as you are shopping. There were 871 units available for sale. That's down 6.3%. So we're seeing that inventory shrinking, and down 46% from last year.
Wow.
Oh, new listings. I don't think I talked about that for single family, but both single family and condo and townhome new listings are down. So that just shows that even with the demand shrinking, the inventory shrinking
as well.
So perhaps we won't see anything happen to the prices. Like they might just stay steady. They could go up. I think we've been talking about this. I think prices hopefully will kind of just like float around for a little bit, stabilize after the craziness of the pandemic.
We'll see.
We'll see. And then there were 1.4 months of inventory for condo and townhomes. That actually went down a little bit as opposed to the single family that had increased. But both still heavily favoring the seller. So saying that, it's like it is possible to get closing cost assistance and such if you're a buyer, but like we mentioned, you really need to be targeting a property that's been in the market for a while that, you know, needs some repairs, etc.
Yeah, absolutely awesome. Well, thank you for all that data, Kristen. Just
so
before we wrap up, I just want to give our viewers and subscribers and fans and everybody a little heads up as to a couple of new team members that are going to be joining us. Not going to mention any names or give anything away yet, but what you guys may or may not know that really differentiates us from every other real estate agent and group out there is we're a team of specialists. We're not a jack of all trades, you know, real estate group. Yes, we can sell you and help you buy and sell any property, you know, out there, but we are building a team of specialists. Like Kristen's a new construction specialist. Anything to do with new construction, you speak with Kristen. We're going to be having an investment specialist joining us.
Yeah, that's much needed.
And so for those of you that are, you know, investors out there looking, buying, selling, investing in property, we've got an incredible agent that's already a top producer here in town. Joining our team. Really excited, you know, to introduce you to him and for him to help you. And also we've got another beautiful girl joining us, and she specializes in the sort of $500 to $1 million range. So lots of exciting, cool things coming for you. And of course, if you have any questions, you need any help buying or selling real estate, you can let us know. We offer free consultations. No hassle, no pressure. You can find out all of our information on our website, thethomasgrouplv.com. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again.